Good morning. Let's start the daily discussion. The first topic is on extraction of hydrocarbons. The utilization of hydrocarbon for powering large engine polluting the air and water contributed to the phenomenon of global warming. Because hydrocarbon consists of all the fossil fuels, especially petroleum. The term hydrocarbon means compounds of carbon and hydrogen only. Hydrocarbons have the critical energy storage molecules within all major types of fossil fuel, including coal, oil, and natural gas, and biofuels. So, hydrogen fuel. So, that is they are called the hydrocarbons. Carbons. It is at the beneath of the earth, which is used as a source of energy. Burning hydrocarbon is the presence of oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water H2O, CO2 and H2O. The geological forces within the earth crust subjected dead organism to heat and pressure, resulting in the accumulation of hydrocarbons within rock formations. Forms of hydrocarbon. The most common form in which these hydrocarbons exist is subterranean rock formations are natural gas, coal, crude oil, and petroleum. Form of hydrocarbon: natural gas, coal, crude oil, petroleum. Extraction of hydrocarbon. They are usually situated in the subterranean reservoirs formed when a denser, more durable rock layer rests atop a less resistance one. Okay. This creates a lead that causes hydrocarbon to accumulate below. These formations play a crucial role because without them, the hydrocarbon would rise to surface and disperse. That is how they are stored without being dispersed in the atmosphere. Uses of hydrocarbons, feedstock in petrochemical plants to make chemicals, plastics, and synthetic rubber. Fuel for heating, cooking, and drying. Fuels for transportation. Additive for motor gasoline production. Dilutant, a dilutant or thinning agents for transporting heavy crude oil. So these are all the products of the hydrocarbon. Assessment of porosity and permeability. Expert use the tool, method, and techniques of the field of petroleum geology to assess these rocks, including to check for their porosity and permeability. If a rock formation is highly porous, it could hold a larger quantity of hydrocarbons. Similarly, the more permeable a rock is, more easily the hydrocarbon will flow through it. The source of hydrocarbon. The primary source of hydrocarbon in this rocky underground is called kerogen. Okay, lumps of organic matter. Kerogen can be disposed from three possible sources: the remains of a lake, lacustrine, a large marine ecosystem, or a terrestrial ecosystem. So, three are the major parent source of hydrocarbon. So, dead animal and plants. Okay. Kerogen degradation and hydrocarbon yield over time. So, kerogen degradation and hydrocarbon yield. Over the time, the rock enclosing the kerogen can undergo heating and compression, exerting pressure on the kerogen, including leading to its degradation. Extraction of hydrocarbon, depending on its origin, the lachrostine kerogen products, wax oil, marine kerogen oil and gas, while terrestrial kerogen results in the light oils, gas and coal. Okay. Okay. Source rock assessment. The rock containing the kerogen is called the source rock, and petroleum geologists are tasked with locating it, understanding its geophysical and thermal characteristics, and characterizing its ability to yield hydrocarbons. How much hydrocarbon is in store and how much can be extracted, can be yielded from this. They also undertake modeling activities informed by observational data and dig smaller exploration well to estimate the amount of hydrocarbons there and report it to the relevant regulatory body. Hydrocarbon potential of sedimentary basin of India, category 1. These are commercially produced, covering 30% of the total basinal area, 1.0 million square kilometer, and a total hydrocarbon of 21,484 million metric tons, which is 86% of the country's total. That includes discovered as well as risk undiscovered potential. The 7 basins of where the hydrocarbons are in store include the Krishna Godavari basin, the Mumbai offshore, like the Bombay High, Assam Self, the Rajasthan Self, the Kabri River Self, Assam Arc Fold Belt, and the Kambe in Gujarat. Category 2 basin, these which are discovered but waiting development, cover 0.78 million square kilometer, 23% of the total basinal area, holding 80% of the total hydrocarbon in place. This includes Saurashtra and Kutch, Vindhyan, Mahanadi and Andaman. Okay. Hydrocarbon exploration and licensing policy. Hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy HELP. It is an exploration and production policy of the government of India, because since the oil wells are dig in Digbo in Assam, there is a lot of development in the oil sector, and ONGC, the major oil producing company, along with the oil marketing company like IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, and ONGC, they are in the oil and gas exploration and marketing domain in India. Okay, so they replace the new exploration policy to enhance domestic oil and gas production by intensifying exploration activity and investment, because India depend upon imported hydrocarbons. But right now, apart from import, government is also exploring the option of indigenous production of the hydrocarbon. Okay, because excessive dependence at times is considered as a risk, so the government of India is focusing on more and more indigenous production by more and more exploration of new areas where it can find hydrocarbons which can be explored, and different new areas are being explored by the government where it can extract the hydrocarbon and use it for its to supplement to its import. Okay. Okay. So there the this is what through this hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy, government is promoting more and more exploration and intensify exploration activity and investment in the domestic sector. Open acreage licensing policy. Through this, an explorer can study and bid for any block in accordance with the competitive advantage. Earlier, it was a government domain only, or monopoly of the government. But right now, after this policy, government has allowed private participation in this. Through this open acreage licensing policy, an explorer can study and bid for any block in accordance with its competitive advantage. Revenue sharing model. This encourages cost efficiency in mining operations by replacing the profit sharing contract established by the NELP. Okay. So the contractor pay the government a share of its revenue net of royalty as per the contract. Marketing and pricing freedom. The contractor can sell crude oil in the domestic market through a transparent bidding process. Environment. The Coral Food Initiative, an innovative solution to protecting coral researchers in South Florida. Okay, next topic is a topic in science and technology, environmental topic. The Coral Food Initiative. Coral reefs are the natural creations by the coral polyps in the ocean. An innovative solution to protect coral research in South Florida are pioneering an innovative approach to safeguarding laboratory grown coral from predatory fish utilizing biodegradable materials to aid in the coral reef restoration efforts. So, the rapid destruction of the coral reef is thinking experts to restore them, or to save them, and to expand the coral reefs. And in this, apart from the natural okay. So, marine researcher Kel Picano and his partner Crit Doston have developed the coral foot, a biodegradable cage crafted partly from drinking straw to enhance the survival rate of transplanted corals. Predator like parrotfish pose a significant threat to newly transplanted coral, often causing survival rate to plummet below 40%, but this will save them. Coral foot, a biodegradable cage. The cage comprises a limestone disc encircled by 8 vertical drinking straw made from a biodegradable material called the polyhydroxylamate, a biopolymer derived from the canola oil. This straw, initially designed for the boba drinks, provide adequate protection for the coral before harmlessly dissolving in the ocean. The coral food designated dissolve over time eliminates the need for maintenance or removal. It helps in reducing the labor-intensive process protecting and maintaining the coral. This innovative solution not only enhances the survival of the transplanted corals but also streamlines restoration efforts crucial for preserving oceanic biodiversity and coastal resilience against natural disasters like the hurricanes. Coral are colonial marine invertebrates of the phylum Cnidaria. Polyps, an individual coral is known as a polyp. A polyp is a sac-like animal, excrete an exoskeleton near the base. Polyps form a symbiotic relationship with the plant like the cell called zooxanthelle unicellular diplavates. That symbiotic relationship, coral polyp can ingest teeny organisms called plankton and other small creatures, but still majority of their energy and nutrients they get from the zooxanthelle living within their tissues, which also is responsible for giving the corals its color. In return, corals provide the zooxanthelle with a shelter and protection. Coral leaves are formed when thousands of polyps living together in a coral colony secretes calcium carbonate exoskeletons beneath it. Over time, the skeletons of many coral colonies add up to build the structure of the coral reef. And Lakshadweep, the coral island in India. Coral reef, often referred to as the rainforest of the sea, are crucial ecosystems supporting over 25% of the marine species. Having the decline of coral population due to various factors, including rising ocean temperature, which led to coral bleaching, have promoted urgent conservation measures. Coral bleaching led to massive destruction of the corals. Significance of the coral reef system. Coral reef protect coastline from harsh ocean storms and floods. They serve as a nursery and breeding and feeding ground of marine wildlife. They provide livelihood opportunity through tourism and fishery for coastal communities. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, about 500 million people worldwide are dependent on coral reef for their livelihood. This is the magnitude of help the corals are providing to the humanity, and any loss in them will be a very big loss for humanity, no doubt. That is why we are right now very much concerned about the corals. Okay, they provide livelihood opportunity. So you see, around 500 million people. That is the significance. Then the parrotfish relations with the corals, named for their bright color and bit like moth. The parrotfish are large herbivores that graze on the algae growing atop the harsh corals. They digest the algae and excrete the coral as fine sands. Coral sand found on our reef and even helps to form reef islands. It's estimated a single parrotfish could produce up to 90 kg of sand each year. In the process of feeding on the coral polyp, parrotfish may actually help spread the beneficial zoonothel algae that coral cultivate. This sort of cross-pollination results in more genetically diverse and resilient reefs. An even more important benefit of all this chewing on the reef, the removal of the light leaching algae from the surface of the corals that helps in their growth. Next comes the health link. Indian government has instructed e-commerce platforms to subcategorizing certain beverages including the Bonvita as health drinks on their sites. The directive follow clarification from the Food Safety and Standard Authority that there are no defined standard for the term health drink. Okay. The government aims to prevent misleading information and ensure transparency for consumers, promoting e-commerce platform to remove such beverages from the health drinks category. Okay. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India is a statutory body that regulates the manufacture, store, distribution, sale and import of food and establishes standards to ensure food safety. It is administered by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, FASI. Then the shrinkflation, the reduction in product size while maintaining prices, is surfacing in the fast-moving consumer goods industry due to rising input cost. Brand like Clear, Fruity, and Smooth are introducing smaller packaging at the same or slightly reduced price to cope with inflation. The trend is attributed to various factors including rising prices of commodities like crude oil, palm oil, coffee, cocoa and sugar alongside global supply chain disruptions and geopolitical tensions. So the size of their packets is being made small in comparison to the previous one, but the price remains same. You can see the difference in the fruity tetra pack. The tetra pack of fruity that we drink 2 years back and the tetra pack of fruity that we are consuming right now, the price remains the same, but the size of the tetra pack has been made smaller over the period. The next is special rupee booster account. The Indian government has simplified the payment mechanism for traders importing pulses from Myanmar by implementing the rupee CAT direct payment system through the special purpose booster account via the Punjab National Bank. The special rupee booster account is an account that domestic bank hold for foreign banks in the former domestic currency, the rupee, which allow domestic bank to provide international banking service to their client who have global banking needs without having to be physically present abroad. The special rupee booster account is an additional arrangement to the existing system that uses freely convertible currency and work as a complementary system. Just to expand the trade, it has three important components. All exports and imports must be denominated and invoiced in domestic currency, especially rupee. The exchange rate between the currency of the trading partner country could be market determined. The final settlement also takes place in the domestic currency, especially rupee. This mechanism aims to streamline trade transactions and reduce cost associated with the currency conservation. Gopi Thorakura, the first Indian space tourist. Because space domain is growing, so Dennis Tito, the first space tourist. Dennis Tito. Then Anukya Ansari, the first female space tourist. And this gentleman, Gopi Thotakura, an entrepreneur and pilot, is said to be the first Indian space tourist on the NS-25 mission by Blue Origin, an American space startup founded in 2000 by the Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Space tourism is a burgeoning sector allowing individuals to experience space travel for recreational or business purpose. It encompasses subtropical space flight, altitude of 100 kilometers, referred to as the Kármán line, orbital space flight, altitude over 400 kilometers, lunar space tourism, trip to the moon. Challenges facing space tourism includes its high cost, environmental concerns regarding rocket emission, and safety issues. Despite these challenges, the space tourism market is growing rapidly with increasing interest from both tourist and industry players to venture to the space. About the Kármán line, it is the boundary between the Earth atmosphere and outer space, located approximately 100 kilometers above sea level. It is named after the Hungarian Armenian engineer and physicist Theodor von Kármán, who first calculated the altitude where the atmosphere became too thin to support conventional aircraft flight. Then the satellite calls. Chinese scientists have developed the world's first satellite that enables smartphone to make direct call. Okay. This innovation aims to address communication challenges during emergencies such as natural disasters. The satellite, part of the Tiangong project, symbolizes China's commitment to enhancing communication resilience. The Tiangong series, involving 3 satellites, orbit synchronously at 36,000 kilometers altitude, potentially revolutionizing communication across the Asia Pacific region. The Huawei introduced the first satellite-compatible smartphone, followed by other Chinese manufacturers. Sugandha, a 3,000-year-old Indian farm, is gaining global attention and popularity for its numerous health benefits. Scientific research highlighted its potential in stress management, cognitive function, physical performance, and more. It is an evergreen shrub found in parts of India, Africa, and the Middle East. Used as a medicinal plant, especially in traditional Ayurvedic medicine. Its supplements are often promoted by stress and anxiety, sleep, male infertility, athletic performance, etc. Ashwagandha. Coming to the question, the reservation of seat for women in the institutions of local self-government like the PRI, like Panchayat Raj and urban local body, has had a limited impact on the patriarchal character of the Indian political process. Reservation of seat for women in local self-government institutions in India, as mandated by the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment, represent a landmark move towards gender inclusion in politics. This policy, aimed at empowering women and ensuring their participation in governance, is pivotal in a country where politics has been predominantly male-dominated. Empowerment and participation. The policy has undoubtedly opened doors for women in political space, traditionally inaccessible to them. For instance, Meena Behen, the first woman sarpanch of her village, transformed the societal norm that confined women to domestic space by forming a self-help group promoting women's active participation in community affairs. Policy influence. Women in leadership role have shifted focus towards issues like education and healthcare, as seen in the case of the Radha Devi, a village sarpanch who significantly reduced girl dropout rate in the school. Challenges and limitations, Sarpanchapati phenomena. The real power is often exercised by the male relative of the elected women, undermining their autonomy and perpetuating patriarchal norms. Political barriers, the lack of political will to support women candidates, and the dominance of family politics.
ସାର୍ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ଟିକେ ଯାଉଛୁ ଯୋଉ ଇସ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଟିକେ ଇଏ ରଖିଥିବେ ରବୀନ୍ଦ୍ର ଆସିବ ଯେ ଆପଣ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସରିଲେ ଟିକେ ଥିବେ
Okay. So women without political background, as observed in the prevalence of the three bridge beti, bahu, bibi, daughter, daughter-in-law, and wife. Gender bias in a broader political sphere. The legislative history of the Women Reservation Bill highlights the persistent gender disparity in politics, with women occupying only 15% of the Lok Sabha seat, indicating a systematic issue. A systemic issue that goes beyond local government self-government. Way forward, enhance political training and support. Building capability of women represents as done by the project initiated by the Ministry of Panchayat Raj and UNDP is crucial for effective functioning. Gender specific policies. Okay. Wider political reforms, implementing broader electoral and political reforms such as the Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament and state legislature. So, what has been already done to ensure more balanced gender representation to all level of governance. This has been done recently. Okay, that is a new generation or the new development in Indian politics after giving Panchayat Raj municipality. Right now, government has given this passed the bill in the Parliament to give women reservation in the Parliament and Assembly. The reservation of seat for women in local government has marked a significant stride towards gender inclusion in India. Its impact on the deeply entrenched patriarchal character of the political process is limited. The challenges faced by the women representatives stemming from societal norms and political structure highlight the need for a more comprehensive approach. This approach should not only focus on increasing the number of women in politics, but also on empowering them, changing societal attitude, and reforming the political ecosystem to foster genuine gender equity in governance. Then coming to the MCQ, consider the following statement of the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India (FASI). It is statutory body under the administration of the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. That is incorrect. It regulates the manufacturing, storage, distribution, sale and import of food article, while also establish standard to ensure food safety. So 2 is correct. Which of the following describe the shrinkflation? The process of reducing the size and the quantity of the product while maintaining its price. That's the right answer. Because the content is reduced, the size of the packaging is reduced, but the price remain unchanged. Example, the fruity Tetra Pak. Which of the following statement accurately describe a nostro account? It is a bank account held by a bank in a foreign country in another bank. So A is the right option. Which of the following statement best describe the Karman line? Karman line, it marks the point where the Earth atmosphere ends and outer space begins, called the Karman line. B is the right option. Which of the following statement about the radiation therapy is correct? So radiation therapy can be used alone or in combination with other treatment like surgery and chemotherapy to treat the cancer patient. C. When the following statement regarding the satellite calls have a shorter latency compared to the terrestrial calls. Satellite phone requires a direct line of straight to satellite for communication. Satellite call are generally more affordable than landline calls. Only one is correct. Asia and Africa are home to the evergreen sub ashwagandha. It is an adaptation known for its stress relieving properties. So both 1 and 2 are correct here. With reference to hydrocarbon, consider the following statement: the primary source of hydrocarbon in the rocky underground reservoir is the kerogen. Hydrogen exits in the subterranean rock formation in the form of coal and crude oil. Only a rock with low porosity can help in the easier draining of the hydrocarbon. C is incorrect. Both are correct. So incorrect is only one. One is incorrect only. Consider the following statement of the meningitis. Meningitis is the inflammation of the tissue surrounded by the brain caused by the bacteria. Acute bacterial meningitis is caused by the Streptococcus algataria. Uganda's Men5CV vaccine provides protection against multiple strains of the meningococcus bacteria. So here one is correct. Which of the following statement about the Lasman hill is correct? It is a range of hills in Antarctica. So that's it, right. हाँ कौन तो